Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Y'all remember her? Y'all remember the woman who had a couple of losses after being undefeated and then retired and went quiet and then went to the WWE and refused to address anything MMA related for almost 10 years? Yeah, I remember her too. Now, in the big 2025, or the big 25, that's what they call it, Ronda Rousey has a lot to say. I mean, she's been training again. And not only has she been training again, she's been addressing the sport. And not just addressing the sport, I mean, she's been venting about the sport, venting about the sport's fans, taking shots at Joe Rogan, the fans, the Habib cultists. I mean, bro, this is what she had to say at first. She's like, you look at WWE and they have such reverence for their legends. In MMA, it's like the second that you're not on top, you're not shit and never were shit. And I mean, what she said, it could be true to a certain extent, but the fighters that she name dropped, it was so inaccurate. Like, I see what she's saying to a certain extent. There are some fighters where, yeah, if they lose, fans kind of turn on them. When they win, fans start, glazing them again. Like, for example, Alex Pereira loses to Ankalaev. Fans go from annoyingly glazing him to then jumping ship, jumping to Ankalaev, acting like Alex ain't shit, never was shit. That was accurate. People were saying no Shama. People were saying Ank's going to retire him in the rematch. Then Alex smokes him in the rematch. Then all of Alex Pereira's bandwagon fans come out of the woodworks to start, riding him again. See, that's truth. Charles Oliveira had a lot of glaze and praise before Islam beat him. And then fans kind of started turning on Oliveira a little bit, Then he came back and beat Beneil, and then all of a sudden people went back to comparing Oliveira to Habib, comparing him to Habib's legacy. Oliveira has that effect. Even though he's like beloved by everyone, people highly regard him when he's winning, and when he's losing, then people say he's overrated. Like, there's some truth to that. But then fighters that she name dropped, like GSP, Silva, Chuck Liddell, Rampage, the fighters she mentioned there, she was completely far off, like, from what she just said. Anderson lost, isn't shit, was never shit. Not true. Nobody thought that. When he lost to Weidman, he was still highly respected as the GOAT, one of the GOATs of the sport. And the only thing that tarnished that title was, some failed PED test. But other than that, no loss changed what people thought of Anderson Silva, because his legacy already cemented. George St. Pierre has only 2 losses. When he lost to Hughes, people saw potential. And then he came back, got revenge twice. Second fight and third fight. Matt Serra beat him. People still loved him. People had faith in him going into the rematch. And he won. He dominated. And he kept winning since. Chuck Liddell, even on that losing streak, was still a big superstar. People still believed in him. People still wanted to watch him fight. And looking back, even now that his career is done, people still respect him as a legend. Rampage Jackson still got respect and love even through all his losses. Dude, he had losses in Pride before the UFC to Sakuraba, Vanderlei Silva twice, Shogun Rua. He had a lot of hype going into the UFC, and even when he had a few losses, nobody really turned on Rampage Jackson. So I don't see what she's saying there. Now, she mentioned Habib and how, fans are on Habib's cock because he retired before reaching his limit, which, that is true, but not entirely true, okay? Because there is some criticism of Habib. The fact that he didn't fight UFC 205 Conor. He beat a drunk Conor. Oh, he only beat Gaethje and Poirier, but didn't fight Oliveira on his win streak, and retired before he could have been challenged by Volk or Oliveira, and people right now are regarding Islam higher than Habib in all-time terms, which I actually do agree with that, especially if he beats JDM. So it's not all that perfect for Habib when it comes to how fans receive him. So I think Ronda's kind of grasping at straws, and I feel like she's ultimately projecting because of the criticism and backlash she gets from fans for quitting the sport after a couple of losses, and now people, they question her legacy and stuff like that. And fans just kind of don't like her because she has been disrespectful. Disrespected Holly in the lead up. Was disrespectful to Miesha Tate. She was delusional, saying she could take Floyd Mayweather. Believed in her own legend a little too much, you know? There's just a lot of things about Ronda that do turn people off. And Ronda, instead of just taking accountability and learning, she has to be bitter and get defensive. But it's just so interesting that now Ronda Rousey is, making headlines. Now Ronda has a lot to say. It's like, where was this in the last 10 years? Like, why now are you talking so much, And then she takes shots at Joe Rogan, saying that, oh, Joe Rogan, he's not an expert, he's a fan with an audience. Joe Rogan was literally one of your biggest glazers, okay? Joe cried when he watched you fight. Joe Rogan literally said you could beat Floyd Mayweather and you could beat your male counterparts in MMA. Like, Joe Rogan was up your ass. You should be appreciative of him. I wonder why. I wonder why she turned on Joe or doesn't like Joe Rogan. I mean, she's not entirely wrong. Like, yeah, Joe isn't like a John Anik or a Dominic Cruz. He's not as like analytical as some of these other commentators, but Joe, he's just there for the hype, and that's okay. I can be okay with that, I wouldn't say Joe is bad. I guess maybe because Joe woke up from his delusion. Maybe because Joe realized he was wrong about Ronda. Maybe that's why Ronda's upset. Because Ronda did say, like, oh, yeah, people who've criticized me, I don't talk to them anymore. Like, why do you think I haven't spoken to Ariel Helwani? Oh, because Ariel had some criticisms? Interesting. So basically what Ronda's saying is she is a narcissist who cannot handle constructive criticism and takes criticism as a personal attack. Makes sense, but then again, this is the same person who got suicidal thoughts after taking her first L to Holly and literally hid for a year and then avoided media because she thought she was above all that just to get smoked by Amanda Nunes. And speaking of Nunes, Ronda Rousey said she's the GOAT of women's MMA and in the bantamweight division. But nah, Nunes has surpassed her legacy. Nunes is the GOAT because Nunes, double champion. She had her loss, but she came back, got revenge, and she's a two-time champ, and she smoked Cyborg, who, Ronda was scared to fight. But with all this talking Ronda's doing and all this training, it makes me wonder, like, is she really gonna come back? Is she really gonna come back? I mean, she's kind of teased it. She's talked about maybe being open to it, I think. So maybe we will see Ronda come back, but who is she gonna fight? Who is she gonna fight? What's interesting is Ronda actually got a response from Valentina. Val tweeted, I see Joe Rogan as a huge expert of martial arts, noble man, hunter, sportsman, and a good example of youth. This just gave me an idea. If Weili Zhang beats Valentina, which I don't think will happen, but if it does happen, a man can dream. Val should move up to bantamweight, go back to bantamweight, and welcome Ronda back from retirement. If not, Ronda versus Pena. But with all this time, like, I just don't know how Ronda's going to look coming back. She just might be worse off, and she might lose again and then re-retire. Like, realistically, who does Ronda Rousey beat? Like, who does she match well with? Does she beat Kayla? I know she's beat her up in the Olympics when, Kayla was younger, less experienced. But in an actual MMA fight now, I would have to go with Kayla. I think Juliana would win because she's more comfortable in dogfight. She's way tougher, hits way harder. She'd probably TKO Ronda on the feet. Ronda's not beating Raquel right now. Gets outboxed. Not beating Kellen Vieira. Not beating Norma Dumont. Probably would find a way to lose to Yana Santos at this point. Gets slept by Aldana. Maybe could beat Chasson. She almost got armbarred by Irene, but even that feels like a bit of a stretch. Chasson probably beats her. Eileen Perez probably beats her. Rosa probably beats her. She might be able to beat Mayra Bueno Silva. Doesn't beat Jacqueline Cavalcante. Doesn't beat Nora. Her the only person I could actually see her beating in the top 15 is maybe Miesha Tate. Honestly, you know what? Why not run that trilogy? Jocelyn Edwards, forget it. Luana Santos, forget it. Do the Miesha trilogy. That might be a good fight for Ronda's confidence because she beat her twice. But any other matchup might not be a good idea. It might result in a third straight loss. And then Ronda will go back to complaining about how fans don't respect her because of her legacy, or don't respect her legacy because of her losses. Even though that's not really true. It's not that we don't respect her legacy. It's just, you kind of annoying. And look, this is coming from someone who actually likes Ronda Rousey, but doesn't mean I'm not going to be critical of her. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe, and peace out.